Thank you for joining me for this 5-minute overview of Meraki. One of the things you'll hear a lot when we talk about Meraki is that it's very simple and it's very easy to manage. And as an engineer, I think it's a little more than that. To me, it's about automation. It's about automating away some of the menial tasks that a network forces you to do and abstracting that away, either through the cloud management or via the UI. I want to touch on the cloud management a little bit because cloud means two things to Meraki. One, I make configuration changes or anything really devices using the browser-based dashboard. Two, every Meraki device, whether it's a switch, a camera, or an access point, the first thing it does when it joins a network is check if there's internet connectivity. If it's there, it'll connect over to the Meraki cloud and then pull down any configuration changes you've made via the browser-based dashboard. And right away, that automates away any pre-staging that you have to do for a remote office, right? You just configure it in the browser, send it away. It means you don't have to plug into the console cable on a switch to set it up for the first time for remote access. It just works right out of the box. There are a lot of other things that we do. The dashboard that I'm showing you here is Meraki's own. This is what our IT team uses to manage our infrastructure. I've got a read-only user, so I can pop in and show off some of it. The page that I'm in is the organization overview. So this is showing me, all right, you've got San Francisco, that's where I'm sitting. There's the Sydney location, there's London. And if I pop open this tab on the right, it'll give me a heads-up view of some more detail on those locations. And if I click on the button that says London, it's going to bring me to the configuration for all devices that are in London because we've grouped them together that way. And right away, it's a different experience than having to remember a list of IPs to SSH into or DNS names or hopping into SolarWinds. Part of the platform is organizing how you access those different sites. And I have access to the configuration for all of them from the same place. In terms of visibility, it's showing you the network usage at this particular site. I have access to an application level view as well, so I can identify specifics like Gmail, Netflix, and YouTube. And if I wanted to dive deeper, I could actually click on those applications and it'll show me, hey, these are individual users that are using YouTube. Here's the percentage of bandwidth they're taking up. So tons of detail there. Here's another thing I want to show you. This is the number of clients that are sitting in London. I've got 634 of them. And the dashboard is differentiating for me whether they're on a switch or an access point. I go to one place to search for a user. So if I'm troubleshooting somebody, let's say Brett calls in, I type in Brett, and because we're tracking usernames, I can spot him on the Wi-Fi, click on his name or his host name. And now I see the AP he's connected to, right? There's his full name, device capabilities, application level detail down to the user. So if Brett was running Dropbox in the background and blamed the Wi-Fi for slow connectivity, you'll know right on the spot. Networking level information, remote troubleshooting tools, right? What kind of connectivity does Brett have over to that access point? And up at the top here, there's even a floor plan. And in London, it's a little bit colorful. But here's the AP I'm connected to, 7.6, and that blue dot is where Brett's sitting. So again, tons of detail just by clicking on the username. Let me go back here to the client's view. Let's pretend Brett happened to be on a switch. I'm going to pick on this telepresence unit here. Same view, right? I see the switch he's connected to. Here's the switch port, application level details. And it's a telepresence unit, so it's a little boring over here. Network information. Again, a ping test back to the switch. Local connectivity. Is it working? And if I wanted to dive deeper, I could click on this 5, and that brings me to the switch port that he's connected to. And I get access to a ton of tools here. I see it's a fiber switch. He's connected to port 5. We already knew that. Here's the amount of traffic going over that port over the last day. Here's the config on that port. Connectivity over the last 24 hours. How much traffic did he pass? Traffic live. How much is going over it right now? Clients connected. A cable test that'll actually check all the pairs and see how much, see whether they're all set up right. And then collision stats. So it all shows up in one page. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you is this topology view. And what it is a network diagram. But what I think is special about it is it just works. Again, we're automating the network diagram. So when you connect the Meraki switch into the London network, you add it into the dashboard, it will just show up with zero setup. If you remove a switch, let's say I want to get rid of BD Core 02, I remove it from my network, it'll disappear from this diagram. I do zero work to get that to happen. And that automation, I think, is the core of Meraki's value to any organization. It means that your team doesn't have to focus on menial tasks that your network kind of forces you to do. The dashboard does those for you. And it frees up you and your IT team to focus on tasks, projects, upgrades that are important to your core business. And I think that's something that every organization can benefit from. Thank you.